inside.
The final track on the record is called Warning Signs, and this is a song that's probably the most personal for me, or was the hardest for me to sing live the first few times just because of its meaning. So this is a song I wrote a few years ago, and it was kind of inspired by someone that I knew from high school who lost her mother to cancer, and it seemed to have kind of progressed pretty quickly, and she was about to get married and just kind of had these plans, and kind of this illness or tragedy kind of came to her family and into her life. And so this was kind of after that had happened, and I was kind of, following her on social media and seeing just kind of her journey through dealing with the loss of her mother on during such a significant time of her life. And it just got me thinking, I think all of us have known people who have passed from cancer or from a serious illness, or just have dealt with something in our lives that kind of took our plans and took us on a totally different path or different journey than what we had initially planned. So this song is essentially about, I think we all have kind of this idea of what we want our life to be and where we see ourselves in 5 years or 10 years. And, kind of that idea that no day is promised. And when we experience these roadblocks or these losses or these things in our lives that kind of change who we are, how we deal with those, and how the people around us can really help us get through those times. I'm getting a little verklempt even talking about it, so you can take over now.
So we actually recorded this song here at Kiwi Audio in Batavia, and our great friend and piano player Michael Oldham did a great job, and we also did vocals here as well, I think. And in terms of writing the song, I remember you had two totally separate ideas. Without lyrics, it was just gibberish at the time, and you had that chorus.
I just had the hook. There were no warning signs.
Yeah, and I think you had the I never saw part. And then we couldn't think of a good verse. We had written 3 or 4 different verses for the song, and you were going through your voice memos, and you had that piano walk up in the beginning of the song into that little verse, and it just fit like a puzzle piece perfectly together. It's one of the, and so this song is probably one of my favorites on the record. It stands out to me. It's a little different than the other tracks.
But it's probably the closest to what our demos sound like in terms of the closest to what our songs sound like before they're produced, or if you've ever seen us just acoustic. I would say for me it's probably my favorite as well, just because it's very kind of near to my heart. So this song really is for anyone who has experienced loss in their life, for anyone who has had to deal with something that kind of took them on a different path. So if you are kind of in the midst of that right now, or going through that yourself, we hope that you can find, again, some meaning in this song, and we hope you enjoy Warning Signs.